Hello and welcome back, and in this video we're going to be talking about pinned views. So another difference between VStack and LazyVStack is that LazyVStack provides another parameter in its initializer called pinned views. Pinned views is an option set, or it's an option set that can be used to pin views to the bounds of scroll view, and it can be used to have section headers and section footers. Pinned views parameter is used with scroll view and sections. Let's take a look at an example with pinned view, and in this time, for this example, we're going to create a DevTechie course page, and here we will define a model with some sample data. First, we'll actually need course categories, and so what we're going to do is we're going to start with course categories that are sectioned by so we can display the courses that are sectioned for each category. Now this enum will be of a string type, and we will access its raw value to display the category name, and we'll make this enum conform to case iterable protocol so we can iterate over all the cases for enum. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna go maybe all the way up, and here we're gonna create a category enum first. We're gonna call this enum course category, which is going to be conforming to string because it's going to be string type, and we're going to also conform to case iterable protocol, which helps us enumerate for the options of the enum. We're going to have a case SwiftUI, and this is going to resolve to a string value called SwiftUI. Similarly, we're going to create one for machine learning, and for iOS. Let's create one more for Swift. And we are done with this enum. Okay, next we'll create a course model where the model will conform to the identifiable protocol so SwiftUI can uniquely identify each row. We're going to create an ID property with initialized value of UUID, and reason is because it needs to be created so we can conform to the identifiable protocol, or basically resolve the conformance requirement. Identifiable protocol is used to identify each item individually, and on its own it only requires you to provide, or implementer to provide, an ID definition which can actually uniquely identify the item. In this case, we're gonna simply create a let ID value, and we're gonna initialize with UUID, which is a unique identifier, universally unique identifier. We're going to have two properties for DevTechie courses. One is going to be name, and another is going to be course category. Name is going to be string type, and category is going to be course category type. Okay, course category is a type that we just created. All right, now DevTechie course model will have an extension which will basically provide sample data to work along with the function, which will return a filtered results by supplied category. Okay, so I'm gonna basically first create the extension on DevTechie course, and let's go ahead and add the function first. This is going to be a static function which is going to be called getCourses. and it's going to take category as an input, and we're going to give it a course category. This function will return an array of DevTechie courses, and we're going to go over the next variable that we're going to create. The variable is going to be sample courses, and we're going to filter this by the course. So we're going to say course in, and we are only interested in the category for the course. So wherever the category matches to the past category, those are the courses that are going to be returned by this function. Now we get an error that we cannot, this property is not found. Reason is we have not created that yet. And instead of typing all the courses, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste the sample variable. Okay, and the sample courses variable, let me go ahead and make sure that the name is correct. Okay, sample variable has courses that are available on devtechie.com, so you may want to check them out. But these are the list of courses, and basically what we have done is we have provided category for each course. Okay, all right. So what we're going to do next is, now when we have our model ready and our sample data ready, let's go ahead and work on the view. And first we will create our header view, which is going to be serving the section's header view to display course category name. The header view will take a title string as a parameter, and it's also going to have basically a few modifiers, and it'll basically return a cool looking header to us. Okay, so let me go ahead and collapse this. All right, and right underneath this extension, we're going to create our header view. Okay, header view is going to take once again the title, which is going to be of type string, and for the body, we're going to display a text view with the past title, and let's go ahead and basically give it some modifiers. So it's going to be a large title font. Let's make this bold. Let's put a frame for maximum width as infinity and maximum height as 50 points. We also want to basically create a background for this, and we're going to say this is going to have an ultra thin material as a background. Okay, last but not the least, we'll create our LazyVStack example view, which will have our LazyVStack with PinnedViews for section header option. We will wrap this view inside a scroll view so we can scroll through the list, and by iterating over enum values, we'll get section for each course and display the course name accordingly. Okay, so we're going to go down into our example section, and here we have example number 3, and I'm going to collapse all these, and what we're going to do is we're going to create a new example right here. Okay, let's create right after this. Okay, now here what we're going to do is we're going to create our scroll view, and inside the scroll view we're going to basically have a LazyVStack. Okay, LazyVStack takes several parameters. As you can see, the list, we have alignment, we have spacing, which are pretty same to what VStack has, but we also have pinned view. Let's go ahead and first set the alignment of this view to be a leading alignment. Okay. And for the content, we're gonna just create the trailing closure, and let's go ahead and also define some spacing. I'm gonna set 10 points of spacing, and for the pinned views, we're gonna say it's gonna have section headers. So we are saying that this LazyVStack is gonna have pinned view or section headers. Okay. Now we're gonna create our for each, and for each is gonna go for the course on the course category, and we're gonna get all the cases. Okay, and that's what case iterable does. It actually gives us a new property called all cases. If you go back into your enum, you can see that we don't have any all cases defined here, but we have all cases basically getting returned because we are conforming to the case iterable protocol. Okay, next we want to provide the identifier for this, and we're going to say this is the each row, and this is going to be identified by self. Okay, we get a category, so we're going to take the category and put it inside a variable. This is a trailing closure variable that is passed in as a part of for each that we can basically use, and then we're going to basically create our section. Okay, for the section we're going to basically have an header. Okay, and we are going to say we're going to have the header view, or we're going to use our header view and pass the title, which is category dot raw value. Okay, and we are simply going to create our section from here. Okay, now our section, each section is going to have courses related to that category. So we're going to create another for each, and this for each is going to go over all the courses in Depth courses, but we're going to use our function that we wrote to basically return only courses that are related to the common category. Okay, so we're going to simply say Depth course dot get courses by, and we're going to pass our category into the function. Okay, if you go into this function definition, you can see that we are actually passing the course category, and what we are doing is we are using filter, which is a higher order function, to filter out the courses that match this condition. And the condition is that courses category, the course on which we are iterating, its category should match the category for the past value. Okay, so what happens is basically those two values are matched, and the courses that are returned are the only ones that are, like, satisfying the condition that we have defined inside the filter. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to create a text which is going to display the course name. Okay, so we get a course in here, so we're just going to say course in, and course dot name. Okay, that's what we get, and we're going to simply have a font title 2, and let's go ahead and add some padding. Okay, so now what we have is we have our example where we are actually iterating over our views and displaying sections for the categories. Now let's go ahead and update our example to example number 4, and let's go ahead and resume the preview section so we can see what we got so far. Okay, so I'm gonna pause the video until this. Okay, oh, you actually loaded pretty fast, so I didn't have to do that. So as you can see now, we have a section where SwiftUI is being set as the category, and the courses related to SwiftUI are being shown there. And I'm gonna keep scrolling, and as you can see, the machine learning now takes over and it's displaying that as a category. Now you may see some of the courses that are, like, for example, you have Swift and you have iOS. Both of them are pinned, but as you can see, if Swift had more courses, that would have taken the entire screen. But because that is not the case, iOS still shows as another category. Okay, now you can wrap this whole view inside a navigation view. And let's go ahead and give this a navigation title. Okay, and you have a better looking header view where you have your not only your page header, but you have your categories pinned at the top. Okay, so this is how you actually create or use pinned views. Now, just like section headers, you can also pin section footers. Okay, and section footers are basically added into the same array. Like you can see, pinned views take an option set or an array of options. This time we are actually only passing the section header, but we can also pass a section footer. Let's go ahead and create another view. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go top, and right underneath the header view, we're going to create a footer view. And footer view, just like header view, will take title as the value, as the parameter, and we're gonna basically display that inside a text view. Let's go ahead and only set the text view as bold, and let's set the frame for maximum width as infinity, and the frame height as 50 points. We are also going to set the background as an ultra thin material. Okay, and this is basically our footer view. Our footer view is ready. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this example and paste it as example number 5, and we're gonna make just one minor modification to this, and the modification is basically adding a section footers, okay, as an option set. Okay, so basically now what you have is basically a option to show what the footer actually what the footer shows. Okay, now let's go ahead and see if we can see anything in the footer. Actually, oh, there's one thing we forgot. There's one more modification that we need to do. You see this section header, we need to pass a section footer as well. Okay, so we're gonna basically create a footer. Okay, and footer is gonna expect the footer view, and for the title we're gonna simply pass the number of courses that we have inside that category. So we're gonna say total courses.count. Now courses does not exist at this point. What we need to do is we need to use our function to basically what we are doing here to pull this up a little bit. So right before the section, okay, we're going to create a variable called courses, and this is going to cache all the courses for that category. Now we can use this courses right here, okay, for the count, but also we can use it for our for each. Okay, let's go ahead and see what the issue is. Okay, I forgot the comma, so let me put the comma there, and now we have basically total, so I forgot to put courses as well. Okay, so there we have it. Okay, so now not only we have basically a section header which displays the course category, but also displays the number of courses that are there inside that category. Okay, so as you can see, we have 9 courses shown up. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 courses are shown up under Swift, and we have 16 courses shown up under iOS and machine learning. So there's a sample data, so mind the data is going to be repeated, but that's not the intent. The intent is to show you how you can create section headers and section footers inside LazyVStack. All right, with that, we have reached the end of this video. So thank you once again for watching, and I will see you guys in another video.